What's your name?
I'm Geddes.
Rocco Baldassarre.
What are you specialized in?
Mostly paid search. I do a lot of work in email, social, conversion optimization, and the whole funnel, but I'm mostly known for paid search.
AdWords, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Bing.
How many years have you been working on AdWords?
I've been in paid search since '98, because AdWords didn't actually launch their initial system in 2001, which I was a customer of. And then the AdWords we think of today, they launched in 2002, which I was an initial user. So as far as AdWords, 13 years. From paid search, it would be 17 years.
5 years.
What is the main feature a good AdWords professional must have, in your opinion?
So a great paid search professional has to have both creative and analytic skills. Now, most people don't use both parts of the brain completely. So a really good paid search person also needs to understand what they're weak in. So if they're a great math person, they can leverage a copywriter. If they're a great writer, they can leverage your analytics team. So great is analytics and creative, but it's okay to be great in one if you can leverage people where you're not strong.
Data analysis skills together with intuition for marketing opportunities.
Who are the best AdWords professionals in the world?
So you know what, this is a really tough question, because often you look to social media and you might say, oh, Melissa Mackey and Joe Kirschbaum or Fred Velez, because they share a lot. Some of the best are in-house people, though, who aren't allowed to talk due to corporate rules. So there's a lot of great people, but as far as sharers go, Fred and John and Joe and Melissa are great, but there's many, many more people I didn't put on that list who are really good at this.
I wouldn't pick a specific professional. I would rather pick a category, which is people that work hard to generate results for their clients.
If you had to describe in few words the way you manage your campaigns, what would you say?
So I always manage around the end goal. The goal might be sales, and maybe leads, might be branding, but it's always what's the goal, and let's track all the goals. What's the budget by goal, and then let's manage to whatever the account goals are, which could vary dramatically.
My campaigns are all about data. I believe that you should have a strong setup to make sure that you don't waste money on irrelevant clicks. You then should take all the decisions regarding the optimization based on hard data that you can get from Google Analytics, or third-party tools. And on top of that, I believe it is extremely important to create work systems that allow you to systematically improve the performance of the account based both on data but also on the market response to your products or offerings.
Search or display network?
So I'm a fan of both. Search works for almost everyone. Remarketing, which is part of display, works for most people. Display doesn't always work, especially for local companies. But for some companies, display is actually way better than search. So you need to try them both. And it's budget dependent, but you should be doing search, but you should also try out display.
It depends. It depends on the kind of clients you are running. Some clients benefit from search, some clients from display, some clients from both. So you really need to analyze it on a case-by-case situation.
And video campaigns?
This goes back to your goals, right? Videos are great for brand lift. They're okay for sales and conversion. And so their effectiveness is really based upon what you're trying to accomplish.
I love them. I love video campaigns. I use them a lot. And the feature that I prefer is actually remarketing using a video campaign. For example, when people go on your website, they do not convert, then they go on YouTube and they see a video ad, your brand stands out very strongly and it can generate a very good result.
What is the best structure for search campaigns promoting an e-commerce project?
So, first off with structure, you need to consider the budget, the resources, the geographic reach, the languages, legal constraints, and then how much time and automation do you have? Right, so what works for one company may not work for another. But with e-commerce, structure is based around products, right? So you've got a PLA for your main campaign. If you have a strong brand, you got a branded PLA campaign. You may have a top products group campaign, and then the other campaigns are the rest of your words. But if you only sell clothing, you're going to organize around brand, gender, and age. If you sell electronics, your organization is different. But really, it's PLAs, your brand, third-party brands, and then non-branded keywords is how you should think of organization.
So I believe that on top, you should have a shopping campaign. It is going to be the heart of your account. Once you have that, you need to set up remarketing for Facebook, remarketing for Twitter, remarketing on Google, and dynamic remarketing on Google. Once you have that in place, you should create a search campaign for Google and Bing, advertising the 20% of the products that generate 80% of your revenue.
And for display network?
Organizations use around the type of display you're doing. So you might have a campaign for remarketing, another for topics, another for keywords, and then you may break it down by those targeting types. If it's a large account, then you might have other breakdowns like country, product budgets, and so forth.
For the display network, I believe you should combine different targeting methods that Google gives you. For example, keywords, placements, and audiences if necessary. And this is very important to basically show up only for the placements that are really important for you and to show up to the people that are interested in your product.
What would you suggest for a lead generation B2B site?
So B2B usually has lower volume than B2C and different type of segments. So you usually look at your sales business segments like small business, enterprise, type of companies you're selling to. And then you've got your product breakdowns within your customer base. So that's usually your main breakdowns. When an organization follows some kind of matrix, based upon target companies and products.
First of all, I would tell them to use content marketing. B2B websites are very big on content because they need to attract people that are looking for solutions to their problems. On top of that, I believe that Google needs to create campaigns based on long-tail keywords or keywords that are not B2C oriented. So this is very important. And of course, negative keywords are going to play a big role. Finally, LinkedIn can be a very good traffic source for you. So I would recommend using LinkedIn as much as possible when coming to B2B campaigns.
And for a tourist facility like an hotel or a restaurant?
So tourist is interesting, right? Because with travel-based items, you've got travelers who are searching a place you're going to go, so which is by origin point. You have travelers where they're going, which is by destination point. Then you can break it down to country by language. So these aren't right or wrong, they're really different. Because if you are, in Expedia, you're going to do it off of destinations. If you're a car rental, probably by origin. If you're a restaurant, more of a local destination, then you're really more going to do it by language of the group you're trying to attract that may not always be local language.
For a tourist facility, I believe creating geo-targeted campaigns with geo-targeted ads is going to be fundamental in order to achieve results. This is going to be something that needs to be done accordingly to the kind of client you have. And another very good option in case you have a long sales funnel is going to have remarketing and video ads. So if you need to nurture your client, you can do that accordingly.
And for a local service, such as a professional or an artisan?
That's always going to be around locational reach. So you might have one campaign targeting a location with non-geographic based words, another campaign targeting a slightly larger region with all geographic qualified words. But for local, you always have to think geography first in organization.
I believe it is going to be very important to have a click-to-call campaign in addition to a geo-targeted campaign in terms of keywords and ads to be able to stand out on the Google search page with the location name in it. But click-to-call is going to be very important in this case.
What's the most important advice would you give to a person who begins to work on AdWords now?
It's get an education on the basics, right? Because you really need a basic understanding of keywords, match types, negative keywords, ads, ad extension, bidding, and landing pages. There's a lot more, but each of those items, they fit together and they have little nuances to each other. And so if you just know keywords, you can't start yet, right? Same with just ads. And it really is have an understanding of those components and how they interact with each other. And only once you have that basic should you really start managing accounts.
First of all, talk to your clients. Your clients need to know that you're working on the account as hard as possible. They need to know that you are considering their opinion in the setup of your account. On top of that, I would recommend to use negative keywords to get rid of traffic you don't want and to have a very strong campaign structure to begin with. If you get your basis right, your results are going to come by themselves.
And to those who have been doing it for a while?
And it's tasked, rethink your test again, right? AdWords isn't one product, right? AdWords is search, it's remarketing, it's display, it's video, it's apps, it's mobile. And so there's so much to learn that AdWords isn't just a search product anymore. And so there's a lot you can test within AdWords. And as a more advanced user, you're not going to go and watch some presentation which is going to teach you everything brand new, right? It's finding the nuggets of insights that you can apply right away that are usually more important for a more advanced user.
Focus on data. If you focus on data, you cannot be wrong, because data is going to be your best friend in each case whenever you manage a campaign. And the second tip would be to basically make sure that whenever you work on your campaigns, do not forget to test ads, to test landing pages, to test campaign structures, because testing is the key to success in AdWords.
How do you think the market will evolve for AdWords?
It's going to keep growing in market size, but also in products. I mean, if we just look at the past, say, year, right? We now have Gmail sponsored promotions, we have app products, we have dynamic remarketing for non-e-commerce accounts. I mean, these are 3 independent products that didn't even exist a year ago. So AdWords isn't just a marketing vehicle, right? AdWords is a platform for multiple marketing techniques. So it's going to keep growing beyond just a platform to include more and more channels and ways of reaching customers within a centralized interface.
I believe APIs are going to increase their importance, and I also believe that data is going to be even more important than it is now at the campaign setup level and at the campaign optimization level.
And more in general for contextual advertising?
So, contextual is going to keep getting more sophisticated with data layering, right? Whether it could be something as simple as census data. It could be something more complex of overlaying your own data on top of users, such as dynamic remarketing or CRM data to personalize ads based upon behavior. And so displays moving towards going to be layers of data that sit on top of your main targeting for how ads are displayed and the ads themselves. I mean, the real interesting hurdles are going to be legal and perception challenges of data collection and usage, which is going to be something different countries and courts decide in different ways. But really, layered data is going to be the future of contextual.
I believe social media are going to be a very important element of contextual advertising. I believe that they're going to grow a lot over the next few months.
Tell us a few words about AdWorld Experience 2015. Why should one come to listen to you?
Sure. So, initially I'm going to do a full-day workshop, right? So if you're newer to AdWords, you want to see how everything fits together, you can get up to speed in a single day. And then I'm going to walk through a presentation really showing how a company, by just testing ads, increase conversions and traffic. Because ads are the only part of your account a user actually sees, right? They don't see your keywords, they don't know your site yet. So that initial ad message is really important. So I'll kind of walk through a framework of testing ads and then show some data for some things that we ran that you can take away and do for yourself.
They should come to listen to my presentation because they will learn how to advertise on social media, leveraging on your AdWords traffic. This is going to help you generate more leads. And whenever there are leads to be generated, I don't think that there is any reason to not attend to a presentation of this kind.
What would you say to Brad?
Brad, you did a great job so far. Please keep up with it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at AdWorld Experience 2015.
What would you say to Rocco?
Well, I think Rocco works a lot of small accounts, right? And a lot of resellers in their ad product. So I'm really interested in seeing how they're using ad creation at mass scale, because I think there's some interesting stuff to do with ads there.